So I'm just going to throw some words out here.
Okay.
And I just want you to hit it with whatever hits your gut. I want you to, or your mind, I want you to just address it.
Okay.
Now, again, these are all challenges to why women can't see good men out here.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here's number one. You addressed this one already, but I want you to dive into this.
Okay.
Alpha females.
So, with transparency, I'm going to say that I am an alpha female.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of my challenges that I'm going to share with the world is that submission piece.
Mm.
That's a challenge for me. And I'm not by far saying that in certain things, in certain relationships, I could not be that person. However, it is a challenge because now I feel like I'm not being hurt, but that's me. I don't know how the next alpha female would take that.
Right.
But it is, okay, is he telling me what to do? Is he ordering? Wait a minute, are you trying to be my dad? So that's the angle I'm starting to take when all of that is not even, we're not even saying that that's what's happening.
Right.
The man is not saying that. He's just like, okay, wait, where did all that come from? Hold on. I wasn't saying, but do you see as having that personality, how it's easy to turn left because now I may be shutting down because that's my defenses kicking in.
And here's the challenge I see in this. And again, all women that I know are looking for alpha males. They're looking for take charge men who are financially stable, who can protect them both financially, physically, and the whole nine. However, if you're an alpha female, you're going to bump heads with this man because there can only be one head.
Exactly.
There can only be one head.
We have to determine, meaning my partner and myself, my spouse, my boyfriend, my man, whatever title we want to give him, he and I have to determine where that balance is.
Okay.
Because I may have to be the one to pull back. He may have to be the one to pull back. So in each relationship, those two people, they have to determine where that balance is in order to move forward. Okay. Because like you said, both of us can't be up here. Somebody has to be down here. I'm not saying somebody has to be at the bottom. I'm just saying somebody has to adjust a little bit, which could be compromise. A whole new topic.
You bring up really the key, right, to any relationship really is communication. If you actively communicate this, that's one of the pathways through all of this. And you need to have these communications early because if you don't, you're going to bump heads. Particularly if you're an alpha female and you're alpha male, you're just going to bump heads. And if you're not ready for that, if you haven't communicated about that, the relationship is already done before it even started. Absolutely. So, but I want to ask a little further then, as a proclaimed alpha female, what do you look for in a man that would allow you to submit to him? What are the things that would make you say, okay, I need to step back and submit to this man because he clearly is the alpha and the lead in my family, my relationship, etc. What is it that you're looking for?
I think that in order to answer that accurately, I would have to do a self-assessment. What point am I in my life? Am I that college age student? Am I in my 40s? Am I going into my late 50s, 60? Because we have to always remember that as an individual, those are different points in your life where you look at life differently. As an alpha female, what I might have looked at as I don't mind giving into in my 20s, maybe in my 50s and 60s, I'm not allowing that. And that's why I brought age into it, because you're in different phases of your life. You're in different career phases. You may be in different family phases. You may be a mom. In your 20s, are you a mom? Some people aren't. So that's going to determine the answer to that. what phase of your life are you in?
Okay, I have some thoughts on that, but before I get to that, I'm speaking to you directly now. Where you are in your life as an alpha female, what are you looking for?
I am looking for mental support, because right now I am in school full time. So right now, I need that person who can get up and go, but still know that this is something that's very important to me. Please don't belittle it because in your head, it's not a 9 to 5. Because a person might be like, oh, you in school. And to them, it's, I did that before. I've done that already. I'm working now. Now it's, I'm worried about paying the bills.
Right.
Whereas for me, it might be, yes, I do have concerns to make sure that I have a roof over my head and my financial needs are met. But for me, school is prevalent. That's top, that's priority. So I want my mind to be focused, to be able to go to class. And when I'm having a hard time in class, that person, is there, like, you can do it. Yeah, I know that professor is not saying the words that you want to hear, because I'm a words of affirmation. That's my love language.
Okay.
And so is acts of service. So for me, yes, the support, the mental support is important. You can do this. You only have so much more to go. That's what I need right at this present moment.
Okay.
That other stuff is important, but it's secondary.
Okay. I want to press this only because I want to make sure I'm hearing the answer, because what I heard, and again, help me here. What I heard was, this is what you're looking for in a man. But I'm asking it slightly different. What would cause you to submit to a man?
If he's showing that he's got my back on all levels, and I don't have to worry about anything, then yeah, I got you, because you have me. Okay. So in my head, I'm going to make sure you're good just the way you're making sure I'm good.
Okay. And see, there it is. And then thank you for the answer, first of all. And then what I'm going to say to women out there, if you're looking for that, know that comes, this brings back the same point I said before. That comes with a mentality. That comes with a way of thinking that a man is going to bring. And if you accept that, then you have to accept all of it. And
what comes with it. Absolutely.
What comes with it.
Anything in life, there are repercussions with everything. So if that's what I'm saying, yes, you're right. Ma'am. If that's what I'm saying I want, well, they're going to have things that they want from me also. Yes. And I have to understand that. And if I choose to honor that or not, that's on me, but I have to understand that.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to give the Kevin Samuels treatment here, just in honor of Mr. Samuels, whether you agree with him or not. I will say this. If you didn't agree with him, I'm just have one question. Did you actually watch a whole show? I mean, we're talking a 2-hour show with him. And if you haven't, go watch the show. Please don't throw out your critiques unless you've actually watched it, man. So what I'm going to ask is, in honor of Mr. Samuels, I'm going to ask this. So if that's what you're looking for, if that's what would cause you to submit to a man, what are you bringing to him that he's going to value?
Okay. So I didn't watch his show, but I did do some research on him. And based on the readings that I found, he stated that men, or high quality men, want women who are fit, friendly, and feminine. I said, okay. So, well, what does he mean by fit, friendly, and feminine? Because sounds to me like I cover all of that. As an individual. Okay. So I found that he's saying, when he says fit, he means healthy and attractive, friendly, lacking drama, is kind, cooperative, lacking attitude. Okay, may have to work on that a little bit.
Okay, fair.
He said women with hard, blunt, and disrespectful communication styles don't usually get or keep, whole nother topic. Keeping that individual, because the getting part might be easy because of how you look. Right. Now, keeping him, whole nother topic.
I'm a witness. I'll tell you that. I'm a witness.
A witness.
You can get me.
A witness.
You can get me.
Ask her. I'm a witness.
You can get me.
And, you know, we both could say that whole conversation could be up for debate. Yeah. And, you know, some men do appear to like attractive women or go after. But the thing that we all have to remember, especially women have to remember, that attraction can change.
Yes.
So now you're shifting the dynamics. And does she maintain that feminine energy, or is she that raw, going to blows with that man? She's now putting herself like, I'm a man and I'm going to talk to him any kind of way. And
because I'm independent, I have it out there. I got it like that. I can do anything a man can. And guess what? That's real. You can do anything a man can do. Just know the consequences. Understand that there's other stuff that comes with that. You can talk to your man any old kind of way you want to. Nobody says you can't. But the moment you do that, be ready for the consequences that come with it. That's really, at the end of the day, all I ever heard Kevin Samuels say. And part of that issue, and I think this is something that we just have not talked about enough. And this is something I heard more and more from Kevin Samuels, and why I really appreciated the man, even though I didn't necessarily agree with everything that he said. But see, I'm smart enough to actually take what I agree with and throw away the rest, right? And that's what I think is the challenge. Take what the man said that's true, that works for you, throw away the rest.
Yes.
But one of the things he said that's not disputable is that women cannot play the relationship game the same way men can.
No, we can't. We're not built that way.
Physically, you're not built that way.
No,
period.
We're not.
Now that's again,
women.
If you want a family, if you want a husband and children, then you cannot play the game the same way these men can. You just can't, because we can be jacked up and building our whole lives, and then at 70 years old, we can have millions of dollars and go marry a 25-year-old. How many times have we seen that happen in history? How many times have we seen these old men out here who look like somebody's grandfather, but they got money, they have everything together, and they marry like a 30-year-old and have kids.
True.
Right? But the reverse is not true, right? Men have no problems with quote unquote marrying down. It's all part of our nature, right? If we're the provider, if we're the protector, we don't have a problem with marrying a young woman, right, who provides us with what we're really looking for as men: legacy. At the end, that's what we want. That's why we're building for legacy. The reverse is not true for women. If you're out there and you've got a master's degree and you're making six figures and you're doing well and you got a house and a car, you're not going to turn around and look at a man who's still building and is not on your level. It's not the same game. Yeah. And physically, you have a certain amount of time to have kids, period, which means you have some choices to make that men don't have to make. Is it fair? No. Is life fair? No, it's just not fair. And so before women start reacting to all of this, I think the context of just knowing that the game is different for you is a harsh reality that I think a lot of women have to face.
Yes.
So you talked about the other bugaboo word, which, and so I will skip past that one, submission. I'm just going to say it because I see the hairs on some women's head, just literally go up when I say submission, right? That's a whole nother. If you want an alpha male, you need to submit. If you're not finding the right male, you need to look in the right places. That means you're looking in the wrong places, because there's alpha males out there and there's good men out there. But we'll get to that. So I want to jump to something else. And this is something that is kind of a side issue. But I think it relates to what we're talking about because it has an impact on how we see each other. Domestic violence. How is that an issue in women having a hard time seeing good men out there?
So as a healing victim of domestic violence, I decided to get further educated on it because people don't know. And that's part of the problem. They're not aware. And with awareness and education, you can heal and move forward and teach others So when you look at the history of domestic violence, some people don't realize that some of that is actually a culture. In some countries, the man can talk to her any kind of way he wants to. He can discipline her if she's not acting properly.
Right.
And, you know, in America, they want to change that. That's frowned upon. It's not, we don't look at that in a positive manner. And I'm not saying they do, but when it's a culture and the man is supposed to be the head of the household and she's not listening, you know, they deal with it that way. But we're over here, the alpha female, like you mentioned, not saying any woman should tolerate that, but that's definitely a challenge for the alpha woman when the man is telling her that she's wrong and she's like, wait, we're not doing that. Or he develops a narcissistic behavior and then emotional abuse comes into it. And, you know, that's just and actually I feel as though you need to have a platform on that because that's something that we don't realize we need to address as a community. We need to address that because it's not being addressed, being shoved under the rug, swept under the rug. And that's something that men and women are experiencing because that's something that people don't even realize. Men are experiencing it too. Maybe not as the numbers that women are, but there are men out there that are going through this. So, you know, I'm more than welcome to come back and address that forum with you because that needs to be talked about. And we don't have enough time to go into that, but that's something we need to address. So back to your original question, a lot of it has to do with culture. And so because, you know, head of household comes with some things, and I don't want to upset anybody or step on anybody's toes or touch the sensitive, because that is a very sensitive topic and you have to approach that in a sensitive manner. But a lot of it does stem back from culture and what men are taught what their role is, or males who are men now who have been witness to that when they were younger and psychologically feel that it might be right because that's what they saw growing up.
Right. And thank you for that. And and thank you first for sharing that you're a survivor of domestic violence. I'm very sorry to hear that you've been through that. Unfortunately, the vast majority of women that I've spoken to have. You bring up an excellent point because I too am a survivor of domestic violence on two different levels. One, I watched my mother get abused physically by my stepfather. One of the most, I mean, I have memories of my mom, you know, bleeding from the lip, you know, spitting on the floor in the bathroom, you know, in front of friends, her and my stepfather's friends. And, you know, being a young male child and not being able to protect her, which it had huge impact on how I viewed relationships, on how I viewed myself. There was a tremendous amount of healing I had to go through for that. I've also been, as a partner, as a married partner, as a husband, I have been victim of abuse mentally and emotionally. In part because I was trying to fix some stuff with my mom, which was its own challenge and issue. And that's something I think more people are not talking about. People are not talking about the fact that men suffer from this. Also, it tends not to be physical, although it can. There are women out there that actually physically abuse their husbands.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, but mentally and emotionally, absolutely. And there is nothing sharper that cuts more deeply than a tongue. I'm gonna say that one more time because there's some sisters out there that need to hear that. There is nothing sharper and cuts more deeply than a tongue.